Welcome to Policy on Demand's Week in Review. I'm Janice Mays.
What would you tell clients are your takeaways from this week?
We have two. First, on the debt limit. Congress showed some movement toward dealing with the debt limit, a thing they really have to do. This week, House Republicans on Wednesday passed legislation by a narrow majority to slash federal spending, to repeal much of the Inflation Reduction Act, and to extend the debt limit through March of next year. That's not going to become law, but Republicans hope that that will jumpstart discussions with Democrats about how one can find a debt limit increase piece of legislation that both sides can agree on. And it's still unclear exactly when they have to act. Sometime this summer, probably before the end of July, but we don't know if it's sooner. My second point, one I often talk about, is those legacy tax increases from the 2017 legislation. 174 RD amortization and 163J interest losing the DA this year. Both of those proposals now have repeal bills in the House and the Senate. Gives proponents of those pieces of legislation a chance to go out and find co-sponsors and show the leadership in the Congress that they are broadly supported when the leadership is considering tax legislation at the end of the year.
Which question related to policy did you get asked the most, and how did you respond?
The 4 repeal bills in the House and the Senate, did that mean that those issues could be speeded up and be dealt with more quickly? Unfortunately, the answer is no. The most likely scenario still is end of the year action that includes these tax issues and some other things, including child tax credit expansion. Don't forget that passage of anything this year requires 60 votes in the Senate, and it has to be bipartisan.
Where should companies focus their attention in the coming week?
I think it's always important for business to focus one eye at least. You're going to end up cross-eyed with all the things I'm going to suggest, but one eye across the pond on OECD Pillar 2 issues and countries beginning to work out their enforcement of those issues. But domestically, companies that care about Section 174 and other things have to plan for their tax cash flow issues in case that legislation isn't enacted until the end of the year or not enacted at all. And then lastly, Q1, the economy grew pretty weakly this quarter. I think that portends more economic disruption, and you certainly need to have both eyes focused on that.